So they're rebuilding everything. And the stove actually looks like it's in pretty good condition, considering how old it is. And they're just gonna rebuild all the piping. So we are getting our chimney cleaned out, and they're gonna be cleaning it out, making sure all the way to the basement that it's good and clean. But downstairs, we're getting brand new piping to go out to the house, and I'll show you that in just a minute. So we did a major wood haul yesterday, and we're gonna show you just a few clips of that. Look at all that wood. Well, we came out to get wood, and this behind us happened. Yeah, big old snowstorm. Nothing's gonna stop us in Wyoming. We gotta get wood today, so we are on it. All right, so all he has to do is seal it, and we're gonna slowly start heating it up with a fire to start getting this sealant to seal. It seals slowly. But he's doing a great job, man. This is gonna work wonderful for us. So what we're doing is we're slowly bringing the temperature up to 500 degrees. That way this stuff doesn't seal too quick, and it has plenty of time to get used to the heat. But we're back in business with the fire. So let me give you some of you guys a little bit of an update on what happened. Saturday morning, we had a carbon monoxide detector go off, and we cleared out all the kids, and we called the fire department. The fire department came, and it turned out that there were high levels of CO2 in our house. We don't have gas in our house, natural gas, so they knew it wasn't like the HVAC unit, because we don't have one. All we have is this stove, and it was leaking somewhere pretty badly. Both Max's room and Jack's room had high levels of CO2, of carbon monoxide in them. We got it all aired out, all cleaned out, but basically the culprit was the stove. The stove had a lot of bad joints in it, and now it's getting repaired, and we're making a few changes. We put a CO detector in the basement. So I come in oftentimes and find my wife in this situation, looking through her seeds and planning. There's lots of planning happening right now. If you check this little book out right here, there's lots of planning in there.
Book? This is not a book. This is my accordion folder that I keep my seeds in. Oh,
this is a book.
This is my book.
And so what are you planning right now?
I've been inspired because, like, right now, if you can see, I have my earbuds in. I'm listening to a podcast of a lady who, she lives in the northwest part of the United States, but she has a food planner, and I'm trying to plan out like what it would take, what I would have to grow some of our food for a year, like so that I could can it and I wouldn't have to go to the grocery store, or I could, get it dehydrator, hint, hint, Mother's Day gift, Kevin and kids. Look like
a dehydrator?
Yes.
Where are we gonna put a dehydrator?
It's small. They're only like about this big around because we have a very limited amount of space.
What things do we eat most?
Okay, so I asked I asked our kids. I didn't ask Kevin yet, but I kind of asked our kids, what are the vegetables that we eat the most? And we've got broccoli, carrots, celery, cucumbers, peppers, onions, garlic, potatoes, spinach, lettuce, cabbage for Katie and I, zucchini and spaghetti squash, green beans, radishes, okra, parsley, dill, rosemary, sage, thyme, and kale.
Awesome. You're going to make more time?
Yes.
I love it when we have more time. We never have any time.
So I'm just figuring out like how many cups of things I would need, because now I can go to her planting in the back, and with the cup amount I can tell how many plants I need to plant. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm mathing, and I hate math.
But you'll do it for gardening, won't you?
I will do it for gardening, because then I also have to figure out because our lot is not big. We're under a quarter of an acre.
Much under.
Much under. So if you remember our garden from when we lived in Ohio, that little house was on a quarter of an acre, and we could plant stuff in the front yard, which we cannot do here because we have what the locals here affectionately call townies, which are deer that don't migrate. And they will come and eat anything out of your front yard. So we have to. We would
really have to protect them.
Yeah.
And we don't have that kind of resource.
We kind of live up on a hill, and we have a 6-foot privacy fence. And from what I understand, if they don't see it, they won't eat it. So
we're banking on that privacy fence. Yeah.
So we're going to be looking into some actually raised garden beds, ones that are on legs, so Kevin can help me with the garden because he has bad knees and he can't get on his knees. And we're going to do hay bale gardening, because we've got a few hay bales out here that have been sitting all winter. They'll be soaked with the water from the snow, and they'll start to kind of break down. And I know that my tomatoes and my cucumbers did really well in those. Peppers, not so much. So I'm just trying to figure out, okay, what's the most important thing, since we're renting, you know, that we can, something that's movable, that we don't have to like build into the ground. Because the other thing here is most people don't plant into the ground. We have a 92-day growing window. So a lot of stuff will be started inside.
I'm surprised it's that long. Are you sure it's 92 days and not just 20?
I looked it up. It's from June 2nd to September 2nd.
June 2nd to September 2nd is our growing season.
And that's 92 days. So pretty much you're looking at between 80 and 90 day growing season, maybe, depending on how the weather feels that day, because she's a little emotional around here. So, but trying to figure out what I can grow here. And you can't, like, because the ground just doesn't thaw out soon enough for anything. So all the research I've done and the people I've talked to, raised beds are the way to go around here. So you might get to see a super awesome garden this year or an epic fail, because usually my first year in a place, it's an epic fail.
But we're going to try something.
We're going to try. So, so that way my storage pantry downstairs is full of things that I can't, and not things I bought from the grocery store, because there's, I don't know if pride's the right word, but there's a feeling of satisfaction when you can take it from a seed either to your table or to your pantry. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Awesome.
So,
well, we'll leave you alone so you can keep mathing.
I can keep mathing.
And planning and strategizing plants.
Well, I'm looking at, okay, so like broccoli we eat a lot of, but broccoli takes up a lot of space. Carrots we kind of eat because we use it in soups and stews, and you know, we'll eat them raw and stuff like that. But cucumbers, man, like if I was gonna go gangbusters on something, I plant 8 bazillion cucumber plants, because we love pickles, we love eating them in salad, we love just eating them
on sandwiches
whole. Like the little boys that I babysat, I gave them each a little like miniature cucumber, and those they loved it. So so cucumbers are going to be the one that we probably plant the most of. Hopefully we can grow them here. you can leave that
okra out down there.
Okra?
You can scratch that one out.
You liked it when I made it, because the only way I eat okra, because
Deep
So,
fried.
it
She's trying to say I deep fried the snot out.
Yes, because I mean, I know you can use it in like gumbo and stuff as a thickener, but like you don't want to eat okra just by itself. It's like eating a giant mouthful of snot, and nobody wants that. That's disgusting.
Yeah, I'm out on that one.
But fried, I've only really ever enjoyed it fried, and like you bread it, you fry it, and I know it's probably not healthy for you, but it tastes super awesome.
So I'm getting ready to head out to the chicken coop, and rarely do I get a quiet moment with my wife. But since she's thinking right now, I'm going to do some of my own thinking. We have had a problem with the chickens won't come out of their chicken coop. They're scared of the cold, and the funnier thing is they're scared of the wind. So anytime there's a heavy wind, they won't come out. So we're going to have to do a couple of things. One is a bigger project that we might not get to today, but I'm thinking it through. One is a windbreak, somewhere where they can go that is sheltered from the strong Wyoming wind.
Sorry.
Bless you. There you
I
go.
lost my pencil.
She blew her nose so hard she lost her pencil. And we got to build some kind of windbreaker so that they can come out and not feel intimidated just because of the wind, which is a total chicken thing. If you even breathe too hard, they'll freak out because chickens are, well, they're chicken. Yeah. So, but the other thing we're going to do is we're going to set them up with a timer on their lights. It's not good for you to have your lights on 24/7. First, because of the electric bill. Second, because you want your chickens to get used to the cold. They're good weather thingies. What's the word I'm looking for?
What? I'm sorry, I listened to something.
Oh, never mind.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about they're weather hardy. They're weather hardy birds.
Good weather thingies?
Good weather thingies. That's about all I can get out of my brain on my day off. I can talk in other instances, but when it's my day off, I just can't form sentences. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna set it up so that the timer will turn the lights on in the morning when it's still dark out, and it'll turn them off right as the sun comes up or near when the sun comes up, and then it'll turn them back on at night at like 4:30 because that's kind of when it starts getting dusk in the winter around here, and then it'll kick them back off. It'll turn them on from 4:30 to 11, kick them off at 11, and they'll have that downtime to sleep, to get adjusted to whatever. And so we're going to give them the opportunity to kind of get a feel for the lights going on and off and see how they do with it. And maybe they'll come out more often. Maybe that'll help create a longer day for them so that they're laying. They'll lay longer, but we still got a couple weeks, actually several weeks, probably 4 weeks before they start really laying any eggs. We're going to keep our eyes peeled because you never know, one might be early, but this timer that I bought, I wanted to show you guys. Amazon, we got it from Amazon. It was really a pretty good buy at $15. It's an outdoor outlet, which I recommend using in your chicken coop because the chicken coop can get so dusty and gross. It really does protect it from the mechanisms with this handy dandy shield. And then this will plug into the outlet that we have in there, connected through a extension cord. And so we're not drawing a ton of power, but it has two outlets on the end. And we have two heat lamps that we're going to plug into these. We have a separate thing in there that's an aquarium heater. It's like it heats up the water, their drinking water, so it does not freeze, and they can get water whenever they need it. Now it has been cold in here a couple of times where it has frozen, and we've had to pour some hot water into it. But for the most part, overall, it keeps the water from freezing. And anyway, that will not be plugged into this because we don't want it to shut off. But the two heat lamps will be plugged into here. But underneath is, and it's hard to open, by the way. Getting this thing open has been like, there it goes. Okay. So when you open it, you're faced with this very odd circle. And this very odd circle is a little confusing because this circle has a nighttime portion and it has a daytime portion. And I'm going to give you another shot. I'm going to get a little closer to it so you can see really what it looks like and how it works. Because this you may not, can you see that? You may not be able to see that. But anyway, these little guys right here have a lot to do with it. All right, so if you think of this as a clock, it will help immensely. Here where it starts out at 1, there is an arrow that you match it up with, right? This line right here that I'm running my finger over. That will be set at whatever time you say it is. So right now, Heather, what time is it?
It is 12:28.
So it only spins one way. And I'm going to set it to the time that it is, which is 12:28. And we'll have to readjust it once we get out there. But right now, we're going to set it for approximately 28, in the ballpark of 28. Okay? I think I got you. So if you look at it, these little guys are pushed down, and that's going to set off the mechanism right there, and that's going to turn the lights on during that time. Right now they're off, I believe, unless I have this backwards, which I could entirely have this backwards. But I think when you push these guys down, that's when it turns on. We've got a window from 4:30 to 10 o'clock, or 4 o'clock. No, yeah, that looks like 4:30. 4:30 to 10 o'clock. And then we'll have to adjust it as we go, because it'll all depend on what the chicken's needs are. We're just gonna experiment. Then over here is the morning time. It's from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock is when I have the lights coming on, just for a short period of time to wake the chickens up, get them warmed up, and that's typically when I get out there to open up the chicken door. And when the sun comes up, they'll come outside when it's light and there's a place for them to hang out. So anyway, we're going to go install this, and I'm going to take you with me. So get ready. So here's kind of a simple way to do electric in your chicken coop. It's not ideal, but it gets the job done. What we've done is we put a power strip with a breaker on it. So should we get any power surges, it doesn't short out like normal. It'll flip that little black switch right there, and that kind of protects from any surges. What we're going to do is we're going to plug that clock, or that timer, excuse me, into this guy right here, like this. And then we're going to take it and take the lights and plug it into them. Like so. Here, let's see if I can do this so you guys can see it, just like that. Turn it that way. And then this one, feed this up through the back, like this, like that. Oh, no. I'm gonna have to do that like this. There we go. Okay, we've got the other light, and we're gonna plug it in like that. Now, an ideal situation would be to hang this on the wall right here, but we don't have a nail right now, so we're just gonna let it hang. It should be fine. We're gonna check the box. That's on. That little switch at the top is on. Then we're just going to leave it off so the timer kicks it on. Now we're going to check the time real quick. Every parent recognizes this sight. Two teenagers huddled around a cell phone. It's sunny outside. Go out and play. Run.
In the library when Jack's done
That burns.
Jack
and not burning himself.
Oh, where are you going?
To the library.
To read some books.
That doesn't sound fun.
Well, we went there like...
You guys like to read?
Yes.
Yeah, we went to the library 2 hours ago, but it wasn't open because it opens later on Sundays. So we kind of drove around. Yeah, whatever.
Imagine that, folks. Teenagers that like to read will make a trip out there, and if they're closed, are going back. That's pretty impressive.
That's the other one. Reading. You're going the wrong way. Your bedroom's downstairs. You're going the wrong way. Your bedroom is downstairs.
All right, you'll be good.
This is not going to end well for you. I think it would just be easier to get up and walk, son.
No. I'm gonna fall.
All right, so we saw this on Tasty on YouTube, and we're trying. It's a croissant roll. It's going to have roast beef in it and ham, and it's made out of croissants. It's going to have Swiss in it, too. So we'll show you the finished product, but it looks like it's a lot of fun. All right, so it's ready. Half roast beef, half ham, little things in the middle with some onion on the, certain areas of it. It's supposed to cook for 30 minutes. Let's see what it does.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. That looks awesome.
So we also added garlic powder and salt and pepper on top.
Here, do you need that? Oop.
Go that way.
Wow, that looks
Look at all
amazing.
that amazingness.
That looks incredible. I can't wait to eat it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching our vlog today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And as always,
More updates as we go.
more updates as we go.